All right, so during a recent appearance on Times Radio, Sarah Snook revealed that her Succession co-star Brian Cox went into diabetic rages behind the scenes that were sometimes terrifying, she said.
I think that dude would be terrifying.
Yeah.
If he was raging on you.
She said he has a habit of sometimes going into a false, or could it be real, who knows, diabetic rage where he'll growl all of a sudden. She said, I think part of it's a little of trying to just jolt the energy on the set and rustle a few feathers, get it going and moving faster. The quality of his voice can be very terrifying sometimes, for sure. Thunderous, she said. Cox suffers from type 2 diabetes. Another one of his co-stars on the show, Kieran Culkin, previously said that he would scream if he was hungry while on set. And apparently he had said on an interview with ITV this morning, well, yeah, I do get hangry because I'm diabetic.
They should have used him for that commercial, Casey, with the dancing. It would have been...
Jordy?
At Brian Cox.
F off.
Yeah, F off.
Jennifer Lopez is not only releasing a new album and musical film titled This Is Me Now, a love story, on Friday, but the Marry Me actor also created a documentary about her creative process titled The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which is set to drop on February 27th. The documentary includes conversations with her longtime friend and Monster-in-Law co-star Jane Fonda. Fonda says in the documentary, I want you to know that I don't entirely know why, but I feel invested in you and Ben, and I really want this to work. She said, however, this is my concern. Like, it feels too much like you're trying to prove something instead of just living it. You know, every other photograph is the two of you kissing and the two of you hugging.
You know, Jane Fonda might be right there.
But Lopez responded with a laugh and said, that's just us living our life. Fonda also expressed anxiety about the viral photos of the Gone Girl actor looking miserable at the Grammys in 2023. She said, I got real scared, you know, with all that stuff about the Grammys, and he looks unhappy. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? Trying to assuage her fears, Lopez replies saying, nothing. He was like, I've become the symbol of a beleaguered man. So apparently he got emotional, or she got emotional while thanking Ben during the premiere of This Is Me Now, a love story in Los Angeles on Tuesday night. She said, I love you and thank you for believing in me and helping me believe in myself. You will never know what it is to be able to share this lifetime and have you be my love.
I like the idea of a documentary behind a particular project, showing a behind the scenes. I would suggest we do a documentary called Behind the Jars, the making of 6 jars of farts. Right?
How long? Like a 7-part series?
Yeah, 7-part series, because it's also something that didn't come off quite right.
Yeah. Are you watching, or have you tried to watch the We Are the World documentary?
I did. In fact, I was watching a lot of it last night. I like it. I think it's really good.
Speaking of J-Lo, there's more. She's revealing what really happened after she and Ben called off their wedding days before it was set to take place in 2003. She said, we didn't break up right at that moment. It happened over the series of the next few months. What it did was it casted doubt in me and both of us about our relationship, what our relationship was and where it was going. And I knew in my heart that I wanted to be with him for the rest of my life, but it didn't feel like we were going to make it. And also... and so it scared me, she said.
Sometimes it's not the right time.
Yeah, she said the experience is very hard because it involved letting go of somebody you truly love because you just can't figure it out. She said you just don't have the capacity and the ability at that moment emotionally to figure it out. We just weren't mature enough in that way. And she explained that despite their ages, Affleck in his late 20s, her in her early 30s, they couldn't figure out how to make their relationship work. And this is kind of interesting. She said, we just weren't there yet. And so we go, oh, this is what people do. They break up when things get hard, and we're going to go our separate ways. And we went, and we both tried and found other people and had beautiful children and had other families and even had other relationships after that. But nearly 2 decades later, she said that the two were finally in the right place to find each other.
Who was Ben Affleck married to in the interim?
That is a good question.
It was Jennifer Gardner.
I apologize to Jennifer Gardner and her poor boy, Ben Affleck, for incorporating them into my fantasy life. I apologize to anyone who's been offended by my fictional creations, Chrysagon, the Philosopher of Evil, and the Skull Sealer.
They'll always have that.
They'll always have that.
We all answer
as long as we're around.
It's like in Casablanca, they'll always have Paris.
Yep.
they'll always have Chrysagon the Skull Sealer.
So she said it wasn't until both of us had done, I know for me, a lot of work and got into a place where I was like, you know what? I'm totally good on my own. I'm chill. I love my life. I have this amazing career that I've built for myself. I have these amazing children. I have great friends. And that's when he showed back up. And funnily enough, he said that he had the same type of experience.
I'm glad you're telling us all these things, and that she was, because I was worried about them. And they just, because Jane Fonda's original thing about, was it performative or is it real? Is it real? You're here to say, she says it's real.
They're super duper in love.
It's real.
Oh, that relationship is real. We need to meet that guy.
Yeah.
I can find him sometime, the Twister guy.
I was
Pair him up with Chrysagon.
I was stuck between whether I do that one or the rocket. It's real from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I think your friend wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You guys ready for the Kelsey audio dump?
Yeah.
We got a lot.
Steve sent a bunch over to me.
I did see all this stuff. I got to tell you, the post Super Bowl stuff, him and his New Heights podcast with Travis, I loved all that insight.
You love that? Okay,
I do.
yeah.
I really
we got
do.
some clips
It was
for you.
funny.
All right. What do you want to play?
Start with that, and it is him taking ownership of his rage and his anger issues.
All right. Here we go.
Sometimes those emotions get away from me, man, and I've that's been the battle of my career. But everybody else, I don't give a what anybody else says. I talked to Coach Reed about it today, and we kind of chuckled about it. I just love playing for the guy, man. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes my passion comes out where it looks like it's negativity, but I'm grateful that he knows that it's all because I want to win this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of was saying that on Monday morning when we were talking about it. I'm like, we don't live in that universe, right? And it's not to say that it's acceptable, but if it were acceptable at any time, it would be during those 3 hours of a football game. They just have a different mentality.
Well,
and even like Tom Brady's like, dude, we've all said things in the heat of, combat, or I don't want to call it combat.
Let's not call it that.
But
incoming.
Heat of the game.
Heat of the game. And so those people understand that. The rest of us, we're like, you're not supposed to.
Well, what happens is, and
Yeah.
in the second clip, he points out that Andy Reid knows that, and knows how he was trying to quell the situation, because how does that play to the people who don't understand the dynamic and say, wow, you're kind of being a dick, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad they addressed it, though. I'm glad that they did both talk about it, and Jason did say to him, like, it was a little...
It was you.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because I don't watch enough football to really get a whole lot from, but I mean, it looked like insubordination to me. It looked like
Totally.
you are yelling at your boss. And especially in a leadership role like that, I didn't think a coach would stand for that type of thing.
So they address this in the second clip and how that appears to people.
All right, here we go.
It's definitely unacceptable, and I immediately wish I would have took it back. Coach Reed actually came right up to me after that and didn't even have harsh words for me. I was ready to get a chewing, and he just let him know, hey, man, I love your passion. I got cameras on me all over the place, man. You don't want
He's
things
letting
to
you
come
know
off.
not to be like that.
And, man, it just fired me up even more to go out there and get a victory for him, man.
He doesn't stand for baloney.
Yeah, that's their sister, Jacina Kelsey.
All right, next clip. Jason.
He might have had a drink or two during the victory parade.
Oh, no,
Preston.
no.
We have
Jason
the Taylor effect.
Oh, you got okay. Taylor Swift. This is trying to regain access to the suite after the throngs of Taylor hangers on.
This is Jason or
Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, here we go.
There was so much happening in the suite. Turns out everybody wants to meet Taylor. Shaq came on in the suite. I think it was my first really understanding kind of some of the things that she has to deal with, because there are so many star-studded people there where it's like, dude, everybody wants to come see her, but the suite's only so big. It was very overwhelming. A bunch of people, and the celebrity attendance at the game was pretty unreal.
Taylor thrives in those situations. She's been in them
she's
countless times in her life, so.
Yeah.
Do you know what I get honestly from Jason Kelsey is the big brother, and I really do love that dynamic with my younger brother Tom. I hear him talk to him, and he is chiding him in a larger portion of this thing about, you got to watch this. Even at this point, with super successful careers, you always look out for your younger brother.
In the documentary,
Yeah.
too. He really kind of lays into Travis for his behavior in college, and Travis owns it.
You with your brothers, right?
Oh, yeah. And until they could beat me up.
Yeah.
When Josh started playing hockey, the dynamic changed. But the way that Jason looks out for Travis is it's definitely Big Brother.
It is nice, yeah.
All right, and then this is Travis drunk singing at the parade. All right, here we go.
I want everybody a part of this thing.
Oh, no.
If you know this song, sing along. Blame it all on my roots.
Oh, my God.
I showed up in booze and ruined the Niners affair. The last one to know. We were the last one to show. We were the last ones they thought they'd see there. And I saw the surprise, that fear in their eyes. Took that glass of champagne. Pat took that glass of champagne, I promise you.
Dude.
And I toasted you. Honey, we through, but I never. What?
I forget words.
So, and the second clip is worse. You know how he's like Brick from Anchorman. Oh my God! Right?
Yes.
Your smell, your scent.
They're
Somebody
trying
should
to
take
pull
the mic.
They're trying to. They're
Yeah.
trying to
No.
take the microphone away from him. He's pulling it back, and he's got his phone out and he's reading it.
Dude, I'd be handing him more microphones. Keep going. Keep going.
So,
Is he wearing a wrestling belt?
Yes, and it's a WWE wrestling belt.
All right.
He's promoting WrestleMania in Philadelphia in April.
Really?
No.
Oh, cool.
yeah. So, in the second one, Patrick Mahomes is attempting to get on the microphone.
All right, there we go.
I got friends.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my
Casey, did they play that on their podcast?
I don't know.
Steve, was that-
because that's all
oh,
brand new.
no,
that all happened
yeah.
yesterday,
Yeah,
so their
yeah.
podcast doesn't
Yeah.
come out for a little
okay,
while.
okay.
Oh, they're gonna, and that's what I love about it is like warts and all. They're like, we're gonna talk about this. You're probably embarrassed about what you did at the parade, but we're talking about it.
I mean, that is super level drinking at the event. Now, obviously, it's a celebratory
God,
event,
yeah.
which there's a horrible thing that happened later, but at this moment,
Yeah.
you
You saw the footage
it's what
of him.
you do, yeah.
Travis got off of, I don't know what they were on, buses or whatever. And he got off of one. I guess somebody had a cardboard cutout of Jason topless. And he went over and grabbed the cardboard cutout and then grabbed the Budweiser and chugged it. You guys remember when we were doing the parade here? Like these guys were like catching beers from the crowd.
yeah,
They're
people were
amazing,
throwing-
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the work is done.
Yeah.
It's time. This is it.
That is it?
This is what a lot of them lived their entire life for, so they're going to celebrate every way they want.
Yeah.
One of the greatest. And listen, again, I'm like you, Preston. I enjoy watching a good football game. I'm not. My sport probably is more hockey, I would say, but that day was unbelievable. I mean, everyone, no matter what you just had to give yourself over to the thrill.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, you saw what that did for this city
Yeah.
and the surrounding areas. So, I mean, like at some point we were all one and it was a great celebration.
It's terrific.
I kind of get the feeling that Jason is remaining a little more grounded than Travis at this point. Like
Oh, yeah.
Travis seems like it's starting to get away from him a little bit, and like he's loving the spotlight. And look, he's earned it. He's a great player, and he's dating Taylor Swift and the whole
America's
nine.
sweetheart.
Yeah, it's just like I'm starting to get a little much of
You want him to
Travis.
like reel it in a little bit.
Reel it in just a
But
little.
don't
Like,
you
be
think
careful.
from the documentary though? You just said it yourself. Like it's sort of been like this
I
their
get it.
whole
Yeah.
life.
I
you
know.
know.
And listen, it's probably not his fault that there's this much exposure. Like he's a story, and again, it's his girlfriend is the most famous person on the planet. But I'm getting a little tired of Travis.
Well,
That's all.
I don't think Travis is as likable's not the word, but I think Jason has that
Relatable.
Every man,
more
Little
every
more
man.
man. Where
Travis has always been a little bit more flashy. I mean, he even did
Yeah.
that dating show a few
Right,
years
right,
ago. Yeah, a little broy.
And I think it's because he likes the spotlight a
Yeah.
little more than Jason does.
Did you see there's like a little video out there that says, how brothers can be very different. And it's Travis walking in that black, like sequin glitter outfit. And
Yeah.
then Kelsey in his outfit.
Flip-flops.
Yeah. cute.
It is. It's the difference.
All right. Well, we'll see this as it evolves.
Yes.
This relationship and where it goes, and how the fame treats them all. But yeah, they had a great day yesterday. That was what up until the horrible thing that happened at the at the parade. Yeah, it got crapped on, unfortunately. All right, I do have some other things that I do want to mention to you. So, according to Entertainment Weekly, American Pie actor Sean William Scott filed for divorce from his wife, Olivia Kornenberg. They were married for 4 years. They have a 3-year-old daughter named Frankie Rose. I don't have any other details other than that they filed for divorce. So you never like hearing that.
That is sad, yeah.
Well, this is a nice thing. Hilary Swank found the perfect day to share her twins' names, Valentine's Day. So the two-time Oscar winner shared a photo of her daughter and son, they're twins, and their names are Aya and Om.
As in the
Ohm is in the energy. OHM. As in the electrical current. That's what they used to measure ohms. So I don't know if that's why they went with that, but it's kind of cool. They're both 9 months old. They're sitting on the beach. Their names are written in the sand. And the caption of the post said, "I have a busy week of talk shows ahead where I'll be sharing about my new film and fun partnership. But I figured what better day to share the names of my two little loves with you other than Valentine's Day." So she did that. She and her husband Philip welcomed the kids in April of 2023, but they did not share their names at the time.
Did she have them? Like, did she bear the children?
She was.
Okay.
I thought she was.
She's old.
She was. I thought she was pregnant on the set of her show. And they were hiding it. I could be wrong.
She's 49.
Yeah.
That's old for
to give birth, that's on the edge. But in case, I don't know if they use surrogate or what. I really wish I was a little more dialed in. I mean, I am the entertainment reporter.
Yeah.
There's
only so much information you can process.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it say she was pregnant, Kevin?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has given birth to twins, yeah.
Right. It was either that or she impregnated a stingray, and that's how she did it, just like that shark.
We have a follow-up on that story later on. So this is interesting, and I can't believe that they're going at this again, but we knew they were going to, but Marvel Studios has revealed the cast for the highly anticipated reboot of the Fantastic Four. And according to Deadline, Pedro Pascal is set to star as Reed Richards. Vanessa Kirby will portray Sue Storm. Joseph Quinn will play Johnny Storm. And Eben Moss Backrack will portray Ben Grimm.
I like that guy.
Which one is he in The Bear?
The cousin.
Yeah.
Richie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Richie?
Just won an Emmy.
Yeah.
Wow, he's going to play Ben Grimm.
Yeah, no, he's will be doing a voice because they're going to CGI,
Yeah. Hey,
he'll probably start off as a human being.
Real quick, though, Steve, at the end of the Marvels, Maria Rambeau, she comes back, but she's not Maria Rambeau. She's in an outfit. Is that a Fantastic Four outfit that she's
That's
in?
what I thought it was.
Okay.
But, there are better minds than my own on this one. This cast, to me, actually works. I like all of them. Pedro Pascal, I think, obviously get a little cleaned up, gray up the temples a little bit.
I like all four of these. They're great, but it's... Do we want the Fantastic Four? We've been there a few times. There's some great actors before.
And I'll tell you, the Silver Surfer one was not too bad. But this is a cornerstone of Marvel.
And they're going to tie it in. I mean, the intent here, Preston, is to like loop it back into the MCU in a way that makes sense, so that it's connected to the X-Men and connected to Avengers and connected to Deadpool and all of that. So they're going in that direction.
They have a good director, Matt Shackman, who did WandaVision. Is directing. So we'll see. We'll see what they can do with it. Variety reports that Molly Shannon is going to be joining the cast of Only Murders in the Building for the show's 4th season. The superstar actor will play a high-powered Los Angeles businesswoman who finds herself drawn into the world of the investigation in New York.
I love that show.
Shannon shared the news to her Instagram page on Wednesday and wrote the caption, "I'm so excited. Can't wait to be in that building."
At its core, it ends up being exactly what you want it to be, a really well-done whodunit.
Yeah.
With a whole bunch of humor. But they run both tabs. It's engaging as a mystery.
According to the Hollywood Reporter, Michelle Yeoh is set to star in a new action thriller titled The Mother. The Everything Everywhere All at Once actor will play Anne, an immigrant mother and businesswoman looking to make the best of her new life in America for her family.
Well, there's already a theme song sitting there, Preston, if they want to access it. The Mother. There is no other.
She said, but when her 2 teenage sons stumble into trouble with a Boston crime ring, she's forced to rekindle her past to save them. And it's being directed by Melanie Laurent, who is from Inglourious Basterds. She played Shoshana.
Oh.
You remember her?
Shoshana!
Yeah. Au revoir, Shoshana. So I like her. We'll see how that turns out. And then
That's a bingo.
one last thing. Will Smith has lined up another hot title to his list of upcoming projects, having signed up to lead the cast of high-octane action thriller Sugar Bandits. Based on the Chuck Hogan book Devils in Exile, the thriller centers on Iraq war veteran who teams up with a crew of fellow vets to target the drug trade in Boston. Sugar Bandits marks the latest film for Will, whose last major feature, and the first since his infamous Oscar slap, was Antoine Fuqua's Emancipation, which sold to Apple TV Plus in Cannes for a market record deal of $120 million, but failed to make a significant impact on launch. He also has the untitled fourth Bad Boys film, which is still in production, alongside the upcoming sequel to the zombie hit I Am Legend, which is set to co-star Michael B. Jordan. And it will see Smith reprise his role from the 2007 original, but they're going to use the alternate ending scene in the DVD in which he lives.
That's a weird way to go because you're going with an alternate ending that most people didn't see.
Yep, I've never heard of anybody trying this before.
I thought they were going to introduce him in flashbacks, perhaps, but they're going to go. That ending was actually. Did you see it? Did you see the ending? Yeah,
I believe so, but it's been a long time.
Yeah. So, and obviously he's alive. We'll see. Okay, why not? He needs, if he gets a couple of box office hits, that'll go a long way to repairing the image.
All right, we're ready for the clips. In Land of Bad, an Air Force drone pilot guides a Special Forces team in enemy territory through a brutal 48-hour battle for survival. In this clip, Milo Ventimiglia talks about acting with the Hemsworth brothers.
Liam is so good at what he does in terms of his confidence, with his movement, his ability with the tools and machinery that we have. Luke, built like a tank, but has, this wisdom of beautiful 100-year-old trees that are around. He's got that switch where it goes from a light moment to something really intense and serious to I'll rip your throat out.
Land of Bad opens on Friday. Here's the next clip. Ian Armitage has spent 6 years of his own childhood helping the rest of us get a better understanding of Sheldon Cooper. And here, the young Sheldon star breaks down his favorite moments from the show.
Some of my favorite episodes are episodes where we get to understand why Sheldon has certain mannerisms or certain thoughts or feelings on the Big Bang Theory, like when they revealed his love of comic books, or why he hates geology, or why he thinks engineers are dumb. Shut the f*** up!
Final season Young Sheldon premieres tonight. That's on CBS. And that's it. It's the last bit of entertainment news that I have for you this morning.
You wrung it dry. There's no entertainment news left.
Sucked it dry.
You scoured the universe.
For all it was worth.
Yeah.
All right. We have to take a break. We have some stuff to do this morning. Brian Quinn, Q from Impractical Jokers, will be our guest later on today. We got some things to give away and stuff to talk about. So stay for the duration, if you will, please. We'll guide you in, and we'll be right back.
Preston and Steve. And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Real quick, just looking ahead for Cardboard Classic, which is only 2 weeks from tomorrow. I saw a list of some of the sled creations. We are not going to be disappointed this year. And do you guys want me to kind of...
Give us some.
I'll give you a couple of them. I want to do full-on spoilers, but there will be, from what I've heard, a Johnny Five robot this year.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen that.
No.
At Cardboard Classic.
I wonder if they're going to call him Johnny Five.
Johnny Five. Yeah. I don't know, but they said it's going to be a big-ass Johnny Five robot.
Nice.
There will be the three-headed dog, Cerberus. There will be a working swing set. A working swing set, which means people will be trying to swing.
That's so cool.
As they're headed down.
I love that. I love that.
I bet you that's clutch. Clutch does. He's the one who's done. He did the slide where he climbed up the ladder and went
did
down
the
the
seesaw
slide.
too,
Did the
right?
seesaw, the
Did
giant
they
rocking
do the
chair.
wrestling ring?
No.
Okay.
Those are my guys from Delco. Those
Okay.
are all the
Right.
O'Hara class of '92 guys.
A lot of times there's a Sasquatch representation,
Yes.
and there will be that this year as well. And there's the Frost Giant, and I mean, the people are getting really creative this year. They're creative every year. So if you haven't done Cardboard Classic yet, those are some of the types of things you will see headed down, the types of creations made of cardboard and tape and string and paint and all that stuff. And we're excited. We're stoked to be back at Montage again.
Oh my God, year 2. It's going to be fantastic.
And it's only 15 minutes further than Jack Frost, or 15, 20 minutes further than Jack Frost. It's a real easy drive. So if you haven't made the plans yet, do that now. The town, Scranton, by the way, so much more.
Oh my God.
For you to access, and it feels like, you're actually in
a town.
In a town.
Yeah, with options.
Yeah. So
I like options.
So get those plans together and come out and join us for that. Okay, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Unbelievable, March 1st. All right, we have not strolled the campus in a while, and we need to head to the Just Sayin Institute. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks.
Just Sayin Institute, home of the Preston Elliott Hand Moisturizer Research Center.
I must moisturize every morning. All right, so Sayin Health evaluated Google search data to see what health questions Americans ask.
What general health questions Americans ask?
Common questions involve dietary concerns and infectious diseases, and they've broken it down by states. Residents of Alabama are most likely to ask about monkeypox or why they sweat in their sleep.
Monkeypox or why they sweat in their sleep. Can I guess Pennsylvania?
Yes, I was going to give you a couple other examples. But yes,
go ahead.
please. No, go ahead. What do you think?
How do you know if you have gonorrhea?
No, gonorrhea is not represented in the searches. Florida, cautious diners are more likely to ask about eating mold.
Oh, my.
I guess maybe on cheese and bread
maybe
and stuff like that.
God.
Because it's like hot and humid.
Let's leave. The mold's not good here.
In D.C., residents want to know if poison ivy is contagious. Californians are curious about juice cleanses and the ability to live without a kidney.
All right.
Poison
These are
ivy's
so random.
Poison ivy is not contagious, right?
I always thought that it was.
If you are in the, I guess, blistering stage where the oil is still present or being excreted,
and I touched you, I
can
could
get it. That's my understanding.
That's what I always thought. Yeah, good question. So
We're going to learn.
Yeah.
Let's do a Google search.
Let's find out. Let's see. Poison ivy, oak, sumac, who gets a rash, and is it contagious? Let's see. We have to scroll down, Nick, and get to
I would say spreadable over contagious.
Can you get poison ivy rash from someone else? The rash isn't contagious. If someone has a rash, touching that rash won't cause a rash on your skin. You can develop a rash if you touch the person's skin or clothing while oil one of the plants is still on.
So
it.
it's technically not contagious through the person. It would have to still be from the
present.
plant.
Yeah.
Also, quick question: can you get poison ivy on the palms of your hands and the bottoms of your feet?
I believe so.
Okay.
Why?
Well, because I've never seen that there. It's just for some reason.
I've got it there.
You have?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the base of my palm one time, Casey. And it literally was from, I was hiking and I grabbed a plant to move it out of my way. And it turns out it was sumac or ivy or whatever. Also, Preston, the next question here is pertinent one because you can get poison ivy from a dog or a cat.
Yes.
If it ends up in the fur.
Absolutely.
The oil can end up there, yeah.
So I'll break this down by our states. These are the most health-related Google searches in Delaware. They asked how to get rid of hiccups, how much water should I drink a day, how many bones are in the human body, and what is anemia. In New Jersey, the questions, is diabetes genetic? What kills stomach virus, and how to prevent dementia. These were the most popular searches in New Jersey.
So is there a genetic predisposition for diabetes if it runs in your family?
I always thought there was because that is a medical history question that I've answered before.
Yeah.
Does anybody in your family have diabetes?
And then also, I'm watching Killers of the Flower Moon, and I didn't realize how much diabetes affected the Native Americans.
Very much so.
Yeah.
If you touch someone who has poison ivy, can you get diabetes?
Yes,
Yeah.
directly.
Okay, yeah.
You can add, there is absolutely scientific proof of that. So, yeah, you know, it's a good question. Is diabetes genetic? Nick is looking that up right now.
Having a parent or sibling with diabetes does mean that you are more likely to develop it yourself. This is type 1 diabetes,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, but having diabetes just isn't just caused by genetics. Having a relative with the disease doesn't guarantee that you will get it.
Right.
Nick, while you're there, can you look up whether or not the electric slide is in fact electric?
Yep.
In Pennsylvania, these following questions were asked. Is breast cancer genetic?
Yeah.
How often should I work out?
I've asked that one.
How often should I work out?
Yeah, because I don't like working out, and I do it all the time, and I am still waiting for it to
Rest
become, no, I'm just waiting for it to become second nature, but I'm always looking for a reason to not go to the gym. But I'm also, like, I feel like I have 2 phases, and I'm still in phase 1 of my workout, and I want to get into maintenance mode at a certain point.
What was your answer when you searched it? What
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I was like,
Casey, I've been working out for decades, and I hated it a lot, and so I'm not entering any Mr. Universe thing, so I'm not in the building. I'm just maintenance. But the other day, I'm like, oh, mother of God. It never leaves you. Yeah. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Wait, hold on. But I want to know what the answer is. Like, do they suggest a certain days a week?
Yeah, like 3 days a week gets it done. Like, if you just want to maintain, right? So, like, I haven't gotten the body that I want yet, right? That I'm happy with
so
yet.
You have to go more.
So I have to go more and do more and diet better and blah, blah, blah. But I just want to get to a point where I'm like, okay.
I can go into maintenance.
I can go into maintenance mode. And
you're going for like a Miley Cyrus thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, something like that.
Turns out, Steve, electric slide is about vibrators.
Oh, because in a way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've talked about this before.
Have we?
Yeah. We have, yeah.
Okay.
The electric slide. It's all coming together now. Wow.
I mean, I think it was an entire segment.
It was.
Okay.
My mind is a river.
Preston, I wonder what we were doing during that segment.
All right, so other questions that were asked are, why do I always feel tired?
Yeah.
I've definitely done that one
Because I do
before.
a morning show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, it's like when I found out you're on the same thyroid meds that I am, and then I remember asking Preston, so what do you think the situation is? Well, do you find that you're tired? I'm like, what? Yeah, of course.
Wait, I have to tell you guys this because, yes, we're always tired all of the time. I started eating, and I know you do this, Preston. I started to make sure that I eat at least a salad a day. Like there were days where I didn't have salad. I would skip it. But like no matter what, I'm eating the salad. I just want to get that into my body. Now, of course, sleep has to do with it too, but like the amount of more energy I have from just eating a small salad as opposed to anything else, I feel so much better on those days. Jinx.
Oh my God.
All right, I haven't. Yeah, I can't say that I've noticed that, but then again, I just waking up at
Preston.
The ridiculous.
Jinx. Oh my God.
Anything else you want to play?
No.
Okay.
He's mad now.
Well, no, I'm just trying to.
No,
we were interrupted for Christ's sake.
We were talking about the dynamic and when he can tell and when he can't. I said, "There's your sign."
Oh, there it is. There's the sign. Are you mad?
What were you guys talking about?
You brought it up. We were talking. I was saying how I can sense where you're going in a conversation.
Chuck brought it up in the meeting.
Right. And he said, what did you say? It was very funny.
I don't remember. Oh my God. Wait. I don't remember.
You guys
Okay.
This was a meeting? I probably wasn't
It was
paying
right
attention.
at the meeting that we just had. Yeah. It was very funny.
Chuck said that sometimes Casey will say something, and when Casey says it, Chuck gets nervous that Preston's going to get angry.
Yes.
And we all feel
That was it. Yes.
Yeah,
It
we
was
all
very
feel
funny.
that way.
We
and-
all have our signs, our tells.
Yes.
Somebody on the show growls.
Me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You know when I'm pissed.
Oh, I hear. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Growled. Back away from the mic.
Okay. Do you want to hear the other ones?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Is rainwater safe to drink? How to relieve period cramps? And what kills toenail fungus instantly?
Okay, I can answer rainwater. No. Because there's a big issue. If you ever go to Bermuda, they cull a lot of their water is rainwater. and they have tons of, I don't know if it's the rainwater in and of itself or the fact of the way that they gather the rainwater.
Right.
But that's one thing they caution you is to not do that.
But
have you guys heard that? Because
Like, what do you mean? Collect it and then drink it?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
Nick, what's that called when people will gather the rainwater in like not jugs, barrels, and then they feed their plants with that? What's that called?
I'm not quite
Watering your plants?
No.
Letting rain water your plants naturally.
No, they're yeah.
So we have one of
people
those.
have rain barrels.
We have one of those
Rain
barrels.
barrels.
In case we have one as well. Yeah.
Jesus. I asked Nick because he's the environmentalist on the show.
Harvesting? Is that what you were going for?
Possibly.
Rainwater harvesting?
I think rain barrels works.
Rain barrel. I mean, you literally in your question said rain and
Yeah.
water and barrels.
I was like in college. My friends like, what's that game where you got like you do the operation and then I'm like, it's called Operation.
Preston, the toe fungus.
Yes.
So I got one from a nail salon once, and it was terrible. And so I searched all, because the medicine that they give you to use, they're like, well, it could cause liver failure, but you just take it for. And
Holy hell!
I was like, oh my god,
What?
I'm not taking that. So I researched, how to get rid of it naturally, and it was oregano oil. And so I tried it a few times, and I almost made myself sick with the smell of oregano. It was so potent. I was like, I'm just going to chance my liver because this is
really?
ridiculous. No, I ended up not taking the medicine.
There is no one I know who is more of a walking medical lab experiment than you.
Only with natural stuff.
My heart goes out to Kathy because if there's something that's going to have a side effect, you're going to get it.
I get it. I get it.
If there's something that is an elusive condition, you have it.
Right. Yeah, so I did use some sort of medicine, but I didn't take the liver failing medicine.
Oregano, by the way, I think the most overrated spice out there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was so,
well,
the
it's an
smell
herb,
was so
first of
strong.
all.
Yeah.
It's not a spice, it's an herb, but
Well, it's the most overrated herb out there is what I meant to say.
Okay. I like oregano. I love oregano. So you feel that it's what?
I just don't like it. There was a pizza place near me growing up. They always like sprinkled the entire pie with oregano afterwards. I'm like,
You just did not like it.
Didn't like it.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. All right. So we also have how to relieve period cramps.
Oregano.
Search after.
There's nothing.
You eat a pound of oregano and the cramps go away.
No, there's nothing. They hurt. They're terrible. You can try little things, but it's difficult.
So that's in Pennsylvania, by the way.
Heat.
So heat.
Yeah, that helps
like
me.
like a heating pad.
Yeah, or even like I.
What about sex?
No, oh God, no. I found out when I was at the Borgata at their spa. I started to get cramps, and I was sitting I got into their hot tub, and they went away, and I was like, oh, heat does it. Okay.
Well, the classic hot water bottle.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was sort of the joke when there would be not a sitcom joke, but there would, the hot water bottles in the lap, and so you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's see where else we go at the Just Saying Institute. We're going to talk about love languages. We just got back from Valentine's Day yesterday, and love languages is it's popular among TikTok relationship content creators. Mm-hmm. But this asks, is there a downside? In addition to the original 5 love languages, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch.
Right.
Some psychologists suggest there are several more. Like supporting a partner's autonomy and integrating a partner into one's social circle. Some Canadian psychologists suggest that the focus on love languages can lead to partners keeping score.
Which can be, that's counterproductive.
Yeah, turning it into a contest.
Where does oregano work into this?
It was so strong. Oh God.
How are you with the love language thing?
I don't pay attention to it as far as which ones.
There's your answer.
No. I don't pay attention to the specific, okay, I need to make sure I do my quality time love language, or something like that.
I think I'm with,
I
unlike
think
you.
it's an overall thing.
Right. So the way I approach it more is what we learned in, like when my wife and I did couples therapy, about how you approach certain things on a more fundamental level. Instead of having like a chalkboard, Preston, where I go, okay, okay, I did that, I did that, I did that.
Yeah. I mean, they're like the physical touch thing. I like to hold hands with Rochelle.
I like to play with myself.
Well, that's, who doesn't love that?
That's my love language.
Yeah. But I mean, so the physical touch stuff, I make sure that happens, but that's just because I like that, and I know she does as well.
I find the purest joy is to be so moved when you're sitting next to, like last night it happened with Claire, and you just touch and hold hands or just touch her knee, and it's like, I love you. It's an awesome thing.
Yeah, they say that these psychologists who say that it can lead to keeping score have said that partners can even use love languages to withhold affection as a form of control.
Well, that's wrong. Is there a love language specifically for your cuck? Like knowing when to leave the room,
right?
Knowing when to make a comment.
You gotta have a safe word. Probably.
Yeah,
that's part of the language.
Regis.
Learning to speak each other's love languages won't remedy toxic behaviors, nor will they remedy an issue once it's emerged, according to a family therapist. So, so apparently there are more than the standard 5 love languages.
Places a lot of onus on it. When you start thinking, and I see exactly what they're saying, when you start thinking about the mechanism more than your desired result, then it becomes too much, counterproductive.
Yep. All right, here's another study that was done, and this one kind of touches a little bit on feeling tired all the time. So there's an average afternoon slump in energy that happens to most Americans. This is according to Second Nature survey of 2,000 Americans.
When does it hit you?
Does it say what time?
Well, for the average person, for the person who gets up at a normal time,
right? Not
us. It happens around 3 p.m.
Oh, that's mine.
For me. Yeah.
So for me, it's around noon.
Yes, and sometimes you'll nap.
1 o'clock. I'll nap here.
Yeah,
I'll lay down here. That's when it hits me. So 3 o'clock for you?
I'm about 3:30. I cannot keep my eyes open.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm the exact same way, Kathy. And I'll look at sometimes I'll look at the clock and know from my fatigue that it's 3, or sometimes I'll look at the clock and be like, yep, here it comes, just expecting it. And it's like 3:05 every day.
Every morning I will take a nap from 6 to about 10:30.
Sure.
During the week.
Yeah.
Wednesday, day after, was that yesterday? Yeah. We had the mixer or the Galentine's Day event the day before, so had to take Jace to the dentist. And so we were in the dentist and they go back by themselves, and I sort of just wait in the waiting room. And I was like, I need to make a call. When you're finished, come out to the car. I'll be in the car. I couldn't keep my eyes open in the waiting room. I had to go close my eyes in the car. And so then I wait, and I don't know, I just had this feeling. I was like, it's time to open your eyes. I probably was sleeping for 10 minutes. I open my eyes. Jace and the dental hygienist are standing at the top of the stairs staring down into the car. I was like, we're good. You can come in now.
I'm sorry, I was drinking.
Let me ask you guys a 2-part question. When you're that tired and you feel that feeling in your eyes, Kathy, and like you can't fight it.
You can't fight that feeling anymore.
Let me ask a question. Isn't there a part of you that loves that, knowing that? Let me finish the goddamn question.
All right, okay, sorry.
that sleep is inevitable, that it's hanging right in front of you, and all of a sudden you're actually going to get some rest, even if it's a short nap or whatever. And then the second part of this question is, why do we fight it? Like, why, if you're that tired and your body is telling you to shut down, why? Why is it this instinct to say, hey, I want to stay awake because I'm going to prove that I'm tough?
No, I know the result on the other side, because if I do, I cannot nap. The only thing I've been able to do with any degree of effectiveness is Dr. Rosenpenis's little meditation.
Do you fall asleep during that?
No, I don't.
See, I do.
But I do when I go to sleep at night, commit to sleep, and I know you do this, Preston, I'm going to have a solid night's sleep. So I stay up. If I were to sit down at around 3 o'clock, I'd be a goner.
Yeah,
I'd be a goner.
I don't always fight naps, Nick, but when I do, it's usually because
you use oregano.
I do. No, it's usually because I don't want to have to fight falling asleep at night.
Sure.
And if I fall asleep in the afternoon, then I'm going to fall asleep later, and then it's just that cycle that never ends. And okay, I'm up till 11 again, and I'd rather be in bed by 9. And if I take a nap now, then I'm not going to be able to fall asleep at 9.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say to you too, Nick. That's the reason. That would be my only reason for staying awake, is that I'm not going to be able to go to sleep at night.
I envy your ability, Preston, to grab 10, 15, 20 minutes.
I've learned how to do it.
My brother-in-law can do it. My brother-in-law could do it in a train going off a cliff.
I was thinking
I've never seen anybody in so command of their ability to sleep.
I nap almost every day, and many times I nap every day. But Steve, yesterday I fell asleep, and we were tired from the event from the night before, and about the 45 seconds into the nap, I got this terrible cramp in my left calf.
Oh, man.
And it woke me, and I was so mad because I had the nap right in front of me, and I didn't have to go anywhere for 20 minutes.
I pulled my calf muscle in my sleep the other night, Preston. And I realized it because in my dream, I dreamt I pulled my calf muscle.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
Really?
you're supposed to wake up, and it didn't happen. But no, it happened.
Now, you guys I know you'll agree to this. 49% say that they are more likely to experience a slump on a certain day of the week.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Every day.
And the day that you think should be Friday, which is today.
Yeah.
But I always, Wednesday is low energy day for sure. Top causes for the midday lull include a lack of caffeine, boredom, lack of energy, lack of food, and lack of sleep. Popular snacks to cure the afternoon slump include nuts, trail mix, pretzels, and chips.
Oh my gosh.
64% say eating healthy food can help keep them motivated.
What's your favorite snack, Kathy?
Oh, snacks. Right now, my salad, because it gives me energy, apparently.
Makes me strong like Superwoman.
Superwoman.
I like, I grab an afternoon cup of coffee, and maybe sometimes I'll have a little something with that. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever's just a quick, give me
Turkey
some
leg?
blood sugar up or something.
If like a second cup of coffee in the middle of the day, that is definitely like a treat for me. I don't do it often, but if I do, I'm like, oh, I get a second cup today.
So what I treat that as, like, I'll do the tea. I'll do tea with sugar, milk, and sugar,
Yeah.
and then there's a little bit of sweetness to it, and that is good. I have my protein bar or cookie or whatever mid afternoon, and then that gets me to dinner. So I don't know how I'm alive, frankly.
All right, we're gonna dive into some fears in this particular study done at the Just Saying Institute. A study from Ruhr University found that treating someone for one phobia might actually help them with an unrelated fear. Researchers analyzed 50 participants with a fear of spiders and a fear of heights. And while the participants only received exposure therapy for their arachnophobia, their fear of heights also diminished.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, so these people were treated for arachnophobia fear, and it actually helped their fear of heights as well.
So
they took people who had both the fear together.
Would that be in general for phobias in general, or is there
Possibly.
a lineage that connects in some way fear of heights to spiders?
There might be a couple of, if you're treating one, it might help with another situation here. So according to the lead author, they said anxiety rarely comes alone. Patients who suffer from one fear often subsequently develop another. Exposure therapy is effective in treating phobias when done correctly. If you're thinking of putting spiders on someone to cure their arachnophobia, keep in mind that exposure therapy is done with consent and under the guidance of a trained mental health professional.
Here's what I think you could do if you have somebody who has arachnophobia or fear of heights. Send them up to the roof, cover the roof with spiders, and then lock the door once they go out.
There you go.
There you go.
They're going to be forced
to deal with
face
it.
their fears. I haven't spoken to anybody who's ever done exposure therapy before.
It always seems electroshock therapy-ish in my mind, like but I get it. I mean,
there's a method to it. They're not just going to,
rub it on your face.
Yeah, they're not going to rub spiders on your
spiders and bees.
There's a way to do it. I remember years ago seeing, and this was when virtual reality was just coming into the fold, that treating people with a fear of flying, they would simulate being on a plane virtually to get them desensitized to the whole process of being in that environment. And even though you weren't really flying, giving you the sensation of that to kind of lessen it a little bit. I don't know how effective that was. But
I'm curious to see if that works.
I've mentioned this on the show before, but I've done a type of therapy that's called EMDR, which is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. And they have these flashing lights that go in front of you. And the intent is to remove trauma from your life. And it worked. It's effective. And I wonder if...
Do you have the headset at home? Because Claire has one of those.
I don't have the headset.
Yeah.
I went into a therapist's office. And
how many treatments?
half a dozen, maybe.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
maybe 8, something like that.
Explain what it is
So,
again.
Preston, there's a light board. Think the Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay.
And you know how those lights flash back and forth with the alien ship or whatever? It's something along those lines. And they are not quite sure. Scientists are not quite sure why it seems to work, but it's called EMDR. And you follow these lights back and forth and you retrace traumatic events from your life. And essentially, you work through them with a therapist, but you're doing this while you're getting rapid eye movement treatment.
So while you're looking at these lights, you're talking about the things
That's
that
correct.
these traumatic experiences you've had?
And you're reliving them. And basically what you're doing is you're training your brain to remove the trauma aspect of it. It's fascinating. And for me, it was effective. It's not effective for everybody, but for me, it was. And I'm curious as to whether or not these fears, if that would be a successful treatment for fear of spiders or heights.
That this kind of treatment would be, rather than rubbing spiders on someone's face.
Yes, that probably is a little more dramatic.
What's it called again, Nick, for those who might be interested?
EMDR, and that stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's do one more bit of info from Just Saying Institute. Let's go with this one. This, according to a TikToker, had made a post talking about her struggle to develop a friend group and found that many other Gen Zers have the same problem. A survey by the Pew Research Center.
It's coming, man. You know
Give me the
it.
Pew.
I got your back.
Found that one third of adults under 30 have 5 or fewer close friends. One issue might be the disappearance of the fringe friend. A friend that you see only occasionally.
I've seen studies and pieces on stuff like this, and the difficulty that Gen Z displays with working up these friend groups, these friend clusters, and there's a lot of it that they attribute to living through the phone, living through social media.
I believe it.
Losing the actual mano a mano skills.
Yep.
The Kathy Romano skills.
Yeah, I mean that seems like a logical conclusion to me. You know, I don't know how much study has been done on it, but it certainly seems like it makes sense. You know,
I don't know. I think I would have been susceptible to, just because I love tech.
Yeah.
If it had been introduced to my life early on, I probably would have ended up, with no social skills, rather than the bon vivant that I am right now.
These looser connections, these fringe friends, can introduce you to new hobbies and different people, which can expand your social circle. In some ways, the study said these weak social ties are even more important than our intimate friendships and relationships that we have, because they connect us to a wider world.
Actually goes to what we were talking about last week about how breaking up with a friend can be more traumatic than a romantic breakup because of the expectations of the ephemeral nature of a romantic involvement.
I believe it.
I submit to the court.
And duly noted, sir.
I wonder if any of that has anything to do with how their parents are and, with their friends and their friends group, because
you take your cues from them, you're saying?
Yeah, and because I just sort of feel like the way I grew up, and my parents are very social people, but they did not hang on to their friends and their friends group the same way we do with our friends and our friend group. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have your friends and then you have your oregano friends.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
my parents held on to their friend group for a long, long time.
They did?
Yep.
Okay. And like big time, like social.
Yeah.
Okay. And all right.
My parents' friends were the neighbors, routinely, and then when they got involved with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, things that they would do socially, and they do that. But they were outside of that, and they traveled a lot and everything. They were homebodies and neighborhood friend groups.
Okay.
They weren't.
Yeah. Even though we moved around as a family, my parents had that core group that they would still travel to spend time with. They would all get together, to do things like that. So they held on to that.
And then there was the swingers that they hung out with.
That was. Oh, those guys were fun. They were so much fun to watch, and
Vince has the lampshade on again.
Learn how to do those fun things. All right, anyhow, so that's the last bit of info we have from the Just Saying Institute this morning.
It's a good one.
Yep. So we are going to take a quick break. We're going to come back in a moment. Bizarre File Stories got some follow-up things. We have stuff to give away this morning, too. Might be playing a contest, a new one. Trying something out.
I like what you're laying down with this.
We'll see what we can do. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Going for
Free WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Helium Comedy Club, bringing the laughs to Philly for many years. Helium Comedy has the best comics of today and tomorrow live every week, and tickets and lineup available at heliumcomedy.com. Well, this gentleman has attracted global media attention and criticism after vowing to destroy some of the world's most precious artwork if Julian Assange dies in prison. But Andrei Molodkin, the Russian dissident artist, has said that he does not believe the works by Picasso, Rembrandt, Andy Warhol, and others, which he will lock away in a safe with a corrosive substance this Friday, will actually be destroyed. He said, "I'm not trying to destroy art, and I don't believe I will have to." He added that the project, called Dead Man's Switch, was itself a collaborative artwork like any sculptor or portrait. He said, "It's not activism. I believe that Assange will be free, and all the collectors and artists who have donated their work did so because they believe that he will not die in prison." Instead, the artist added, he is trying to spark a discussion over why destroying the life of people means nothing, but destroying art is a huge taboo in the world. He said that he's gathered 16 works of art, which he estimates are collectively worth more than $45 million. The works will be locked into a 29-ton, 13-foot by 9-foot Swiss safe at Molodkin's studio in the south of France. They will only be returned to their owners if Assange is released as a free man.
So he himself is an artist.
Yes.
Do you think he does like pet portraits and stuff like that? I'm looking for one.
Maybe you can reach out to him. He explained that the artwork would be put in plywood crates alongside a dead man switch, a pneumatic pump connecting two barrels, one with acid powder and the other with an accelerator that could cause a chemical reaction strong enough to turn the safe's contents into debris within 2 hours.
This is like a Saw movie with art.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Each day will begin a 24-hour countdown that is only reset when someone close to Assange confirms his well-being. Molodkin, who works with material including human blood, crude oil, steel, and ballpoint pen.
Has he ever heard of paint?
Said he spent half a year trying to persuade collectors and artists to donate works to the new project. He said, "I told them it's a collective artwork. We are all participating in it. We are all trying to open a dialogue with the White House."
So this is kind of a Banksy, Christo kind of thing, right?
Yeah, definitely thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
So it's
and
kind of
putting it in a box.
Weird little thing, and then putting it in a box. Yeah. All right, here's a follow-up story. I was getting a kick out of reading this yesterday. An award-winning professor at Penn State University, already accused of performing sexual acts on his pet dog in a public park.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Is facing additional charges for allegedly engaging in a spate of other lewd sexual acts in the Pennsylvania park, including pleasuring himself in various locations and rubbing his genitals on handrails and pavilions. The videos reportedly showed Professor Matsukas wearing a black ski mask and nothing else.
Oh, my God.
As he stood atop a pavilion in the park and engaged in a sexual act with a tree branch.
In his defense, the tree had wood.
Another video reportedly showed him engaging in a similar sexual act with a Tootsie Pop before pleasuring himself in a public pond.
Professor, can I see you after class tomorrow?
Investigators also obtained additional video footage from trail cameras throughout the park, some of which reportedly showed Matsukas engaging in sexual acts while inside of equipment belonging to the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. Another video is alleged to have showed him on top of a picnic table as he performed a sexual act involving fecal matter and some flowers.
All right, so we have 5 items here. Rank them in level of depravity.
Okay.
You got the dog, which I think is horrible.
I think that's number one.
Number one.
Yeah.
After that,
yep,
we got the Tootsie Pop, we got the railing, we got the tree.
Yep.
And then we got the fecal matter.
And the fecal
matter, I think, is after the dog.
Probably after the dog. And then I got to go with, I mean, if he used the tree branch and his butt in a combination, that's got to hurt. So I'm maybe putting that in there.
And the third?
And then the Tootsie Pop.
Yeah.
And then the handrail comes in last.
Right.
But
That's what I think.
The silver lining here is that this older gentleman still has sexual drive.
And that's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
He could be the next Golden Bachelor.
The allegations in that case stemmed from a trail camera being put up in Allen Seeger Park in April 2023 in response to bags of hand sanitizer being stolen from public bathrooms. It didn't take long for the camera to allegedly capture shocking footage of Matsoukas, the 2017 recipient of the Premier Teaching Award from the Penn State Engineering Alumni Association.
Just looking for an older woman, a special woman who enjoys watching me bang her dog.
So the camera allegedly captured him walking around with his pet collie wearing nothing but a ski mask, a North Face backpack, boots, and a wristwatch. He can allegedly be seen pleasuring himself in an area near a women's public restroom before engaging in a sexual act with the dog, also appearing to be using a silver iPad to record himself performing the indecent act on the animal.
Can you imagine being in that room as they're going through the footage and like scanning? Like, are they laughing? Are they shocked? Are they horrified? All of the above?
I'm there with the big bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, I mean, if you were to make this into a movie, if you want to bring Hollywood back, release the movie of this guy.
But people would watch and go, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Right?
And they say, guess what? Yes.
Matsoukas was arraigned on the new charges on Monday and released on unsecured bail. By
This might hurt his teaching career.
We're going to hear more about that. A Connecticut pastor was arrested after police said he was selling methamphetamine from his house and at the church.
Is he looking for a friend?
Police arrested Herbert Irving Miller after police noticed that he was operating his vehicle with a suspended registration and failed to maintain the insurance requirements. And during the investigation, Miller was in possession of crystal meth in both rock form and liquefied into a hypodermic needle. He was released on $10,000 bond. Now, Miller was the pastor of the First United Methodist Church before becoming the pastor of Woodbury United Methodist Church. The police received a tip that Miller was allegedly dealing drugs from his house right next to the church. His neighbor saw a lot of traffic at the home, and someone saw a meth pipe on the road near the church.
Is it conceivable that he thought because he was a Methodist, the owner was on him to sell meth?
Methodist, maybe. But listen to this. It gets even better. Police said that investigators believe that Miller was providing the meth. In exchange, he wanted to see couples having sex in front of him.
Oh, okay.
What the hell's going on in the world?
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Could be banging a tree.
It could be. It could be. It could be. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in today's Bizarre File.
At a certain point, no matter how deranged you are,
you're not that
don't
guy.
You have? Don't you? It doesn't. Did you pause for a second?
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
oh my God! I probably should have stopped at the poop.
And I guess, and this guy continued to,
Preston.
have services at the church.
Man. The other guy's naked with the ski mask.
Yeah,
rolling around and pooping, humping trees. And there's a point where he's like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah. And you know what?
What the hell am I doing?
What blows me away at that story is that this guy is fully, completely naked, just hanging out in the park.
Yeah.
And what time of day was this?
Right.
I mean, where are the other people?
Also, you brought your dog, which is the clear giveaway of who you are. So don't put a ski mask on if you're going to bring your pet with you.
And earlier in the day, he's probably in a classroom, right?
Yeah.
So he's working in front of students and then goes about the rest of his day with this.
And critiquing, giving grades.
Yes.
Yeah. Meantime, he's thinking the whole time about what he's doing later on that day.
Can't wait to get to that poop.
Yeah.
Got part time later.
Got to be a railing, Tom.
Yeah.
Come here.
All right. Well, that's what we have in the Bizarre File for you.
We could do a whole show on that guy.
I know. It's nuts.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on today?
If Pacino played him, that'd be the best.
That would be.
I met a special dog.
His name is Jimmy.
His name is Jimmy.
Jimmy,
He's a dachshund.
Jimmy, I'm just getting warmed up.
All right.
Who wants a Kong?
We are going to take a break. When we come back, I think we're going to try out a game. It's a brand new one. We've never played it before. It's just a concept that I had, and you know how those usually go.
Yeah. Hey, I love the cowbell game.
Let's find out what you think when we return. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Real quick, you wanted to mention something. We have some time now because our guest is not on the line as of yet, but you wanted to mention something?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I got a text this morning. It said, good morning, Kathy. It occurred to me this morning that today was my last morning commute with Preston and Steve. Why? Because I'm retiring. 26 plus years at Vanguard, listening to you guys for most of that time got me through many slow mornings on the Turnpike at 202 and put me in the right mood for the day. Please thank the gang for me for all the laughs and entertainment. He said, P.S. I got Forrest Gump too. And that is Bill Hoffman. Bill's a friend of ours. Our sons are friends, really good friends. And so we've got to know them over the years, and they're a great family. Bill, congratulations. And I can't wait for the retirement party.
And he can listen to the podcast.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, and they're headed out to celebrate. They're going out to Vegas to see you two at the Sphere.
Yeah. That's a good little trip to throw in there at the end of the career, which is cool. We got a couple minutes. Q is getting on the line. So I wanted to mention this. Did Jackie Bam Bam, even Rochelle got sent the article?
Oh, he sent it to Rochelle?
Yeah,
everybody got
from Metro.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Yeah,
it's
great.
Awesome. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I told him. I mean, he gets super giddy about these things, but Jackie, you're a legend.
Jackie Bam Bam inducted into the Mummers Hall of Fame, and the Metro, the weekend edition, has a nice feature with some really cool pictures of Jackie in this most recent year's costume that he was in. But what I love is this particular quote from him. By the way, he didn't know he was receiving it. The announcement was made, his family was there, and everybody that was surprised him. And then he says in the article, my dream as a kid was to be a captain in a string band or any Mummer division, get into the Mummers Hall of Fame, and get into rock and roll radio as a DJ, and I have my mom and dad still alive to witness it all, he said. And he said, I did it. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And he works, every morning when we come in here and his show ends at midnight, he is still here doing show prep.
When we get in, I get in at like 3:40 in the morning, and he is, I get in here at 4:40 in the morning, and he is in there working hard on his radio show. He
deserves all the
accolades. Hours and hours and hours after his shift. But it's not just the fact that he's been in the Mummers Parade for all these years, but it's what he does throughout the year for the Mummers that they said he's constantly promoting it. He's playing music from the string bands on his show all the time, every night. And so therefore he certainly deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame, which is cool.
Speaking of articles and stuff, I sent you over the piece Dan DeLuca did about Pierre, right? Did you read that about brunch and all that stuff?
Yeah,
it was a great little piece on Pierre. Yeah,
and his restaurant favorites in Rittenhouse Square, stuff like that, which is really
well
cool.
done.
All right, our guest is ready to go. So we got him on the line. Season 10 of Impractical Jokers is on tonight on True TV and TBS. And also don't forget that they've got a tour coming up. They're going to be at Ovation Hall Oceans Casino Resort. That's not till July 13th, but we had a chance to talk to Murr about it not too long ago.
Yeah.
But now we welcome to the show Mr. Brian Quinn.
Yeah.
Q is on the line. Hey, Q. Yo, bud. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, it's another beautiful Staten Island morning for me, man.
Another beautiful Staten Island morning. It's funny. All my life growing up, born in Manhattan and raised on Long Island, and Staten Island my grandmother lived in Staten Island, so... And you'll concur with this, I'm sure. There's so much to recommend about Staten Island, but it has always had the most god-awful traffic. Am I correct in that?
Had implies that they've somehow fixed it. Before you learn to walk, you understand that you don't leave your house between 3 and 7. Look, the reason I don't have children is so I don't have to leave my house to pick them up at school in that god-awful traffic.
I could see where that would keep you from having kids. He's not kidding. Great. It is a nightmare. Yeah.
It is, because the roads were all built in like 1855 for like horses and carriages. I'm not lying. This is what it is. And so you have thousands of cars trying to get down a one-lane street at 3 o'clock. It's insane.
No, you're right.
So Q, man, 10 years, 10th, well, not 10, 10 seasons of the Impractical Jokers. How does that feel, that milestone number?
It's pretty insane, man. Yesterday was the first day of shooting on season 11, and man, I was a firefighter. I thought I'd be retiring from the fire department around now.
Yeah.
So to find myself at this age, we're still doing this, we're having a blast. It's insane, but there's a dark side. Yeah. And that dark side is this. I was in Key West, and this young lady came out. Beautiful young lady comes up to me, and she goes, "Sir, can I buy you a shot? I want to do a shot with you." And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "It's my 21st birthday. I've been watching you since I was 8 years old."
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we've been there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, where we had someone come up to us, and they were born on the day we started at WMMR, a full adult woman. It just blows you away.
It's a check, man. Because they're like, "Oh, I'm an old person."
I know it's a reality check, but hey, it's worse things could happen. You guys have had a tremendously successful show with legions of fans and celebrity fans as well. And I read that you guys starting the 11th season, our friend Joe DeRosa is going to be in one of the episodes.
Well, first, is anybody a friend with Joe DeRosa?
That is a good point. Yeah. Acquaintance might be a better.
We love Joe, but Joe is a bit of an enigma. But we love him. But no, that's a fair point. But by the way, he had his sandwich place. Did you frequent his sandwich place?
I'm like a 1% owner of his sandwich place. I don't know why he doesn't advertise that. I figured business would go through the roof. But yeah, I own like a percentage of it.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I go, "Joe, name a sandwich after me." And he said yes, and then never brought it up again.
I love it.
He'll take your money to invest, but he won't give you a sandwich name. That's Joe DeRosa.
All right, so you're working on season 11. The 10's in the books. You guys got that. I'm sure there's still editing and all that stuff needs to be done on a lot of things. What are some of the things that you can maybe tease that's not giving the whole thing away that we can look forward to in season 10?
Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. We got Alf. You guys remember Alf?
Oh, yes! Dude, I'm sitting next to the biggest Alf fan ever, Casey here. Yeah. And he's holding the stuffed animal in his lap. He has it that close to him. He has it right now.
I have a stuffed animal and an Alf Valterra skateboard that I'm literally holding in my hands right now, Q.
Well, dude, buckle up because not only do we have Alf as a guest this season, we're talking original, I don't want to break the illusion here, but they got the original Alf out. Original puppeteer, original voice, everything.
Wow.
And came and did an episode with us.
Well, Ryan Reynolds is a massive Alf fan. In fact, I think he's spearheading this new reboot series that they're talking about. I assume you're aware of that.
I am, man. That Ryan Reynolds, does he sleep?
Yeah. Good point.
What is his deal? Is he human?
Yeah, I bet he would name a sandwich after you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course he would. He'd be the best friend ever. He's the anti-DeRosa.
The anti-DeRosa. So let me ask you, Q, do you have, so obviously there are so many celebrity fans. You've had so many people, who want to be a part of the show, just get what you do. And again, the age range of your fandom runs all up and down. Mm-hmm. But who's on your short list of we've got to get this person on the show?
Oh, I got him already. Yes. It was when we started, because, wanted to delineate a season, because when Joe had exited the show, we were like, well, let's do something wildly different. You know what I mean? So
right.
Let's do some celebrities. We're not doing that for season 11 and 12. We're going back to just us. We wanted that line in the sand. So we made a wish list of who would be on it. And we knew there were some slam dunks. Like John Mayer, we knew we were going to get. We were friends with him. He's a fan of the show. But, you guys know the Evil Dead movies?
Yeah.
All right, Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell we've had him on the show.
He's the best.
Going back to the original Evil Dead, Sam Raimi, all that stuff. He is just fantastic.
Bruce Campbell's an American treasure. He's been my hero. He's been my non-sexual crush since I was a child. And I not always non-sexual too. And then so when we made the list of people that we wanted on the show, he was my number one. And he was the best. He came in, he did an Evil Dead punishment type thing with us.
Awesome.
He rolls up on set, and this is the greatest thing about Bruce. He rolls up on set, and he's like, all right, what are we doing? And we're like, well, on the show, this is what we do. And he's like, oh, I never watched the show. And we're like, oh, all right. And he's like, no, I'm here for the $25,000 fee that you guys have paid. He's serious. And then so he shoots with us all day. He's perfect. He's everything you want to be. He's charming. He's funny. He gets to his hotel at night and he starts texting me, which, by the way, there's nothing in my life when my phone goes off and it's Bruce Campbell's name on it.
Yeah.
And he starts texting me, he goes, I'm watching your show for the first time. You guys are actually kind of funny.
Actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the movie Bubba Hotep?
Oh, yeah. I love Bubba Hotep, man.
Yeah.
He plays Elvis in it. It's Elvis and JFK fighting a mummy. It's amazing.
It's just the best. Yeah.
Go watch it.
So I have to ask you about the Get Ship-Faced tour. Eric Andre, to me, represents a guy who's always seconds away from just detonating. What was it like being with him on that cruise?
It was, well, the thing about Eric is I was a little worried because my cabin was right next to him. And I was like, this guy is a legendary partner. The thing about Eric is he's also very professional. But he's so cool. Okay, so this was our 5th cruise, right?
Right.
And this is the first one that we did with Eric. And, when you have a cruise and you're on the boat and your face is on the bow of the boat, you feel pretty good about yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, this is my boat. I'm amongst my people. But then someone as cool as Eric Andre comes on the boat, and you're like, oh... Everybody thinks he's the cool. Suddenly I'm not the cool kid on my own boat. Friggin' cool. It was a weird feeling, man. But people just love it. I love him. He's been on our show plenty of times. But that guy is such a charismatic. But you're right. He's a time bomb.
Yeah.
So he makes you do a dizzy bat. He made Sal do a shot of hot sauce. He's a maniac, but he's a great guy.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot of times with our association with the Jackass guys, and obviously there a lot of our local to the area were, and we always ask them, do you ever get a good night's sleep knowing that they are constantly stalking you, all of your quote unquote buddies, looking to take you out? So if you have him on next to you on the ship, I'm sure you must have slept with one eye open.
Yeah, a little bit, because he also has a friend that walks around with a camera, not like a photographer, literally his buddy. It's so you're always like, is he going to start videoing me and something bad's going to happen? But I'm telling you, behind the scenes, Eric he's extremely professional. There's
awesome.
My mom was on the cruise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're like, Eric, this is my mom, this is Eric. He's like, he gets the vibe.
Nice.
I wish I could tell you a crazy story, but really, he's a party guy. He's just all night, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever. He's up. But he's just super professional.
I could see that. Absolutely.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Q, we're excited you guys have season 10 getting going tonight, True TV. You can catch it at 10 p.m. on TBS as well. And then I want to remind everybody that you guys are going to be in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Ovation Hall. It's a drive tour. And that show is July 13th. There's 2 shows and tickets are available at theoceanac.com. And you guys will kill it as you always do. So great checking in with you, man. And we'll talk to you another time soon. Okay, bud?
Good to talk to you guys. Take it easy.
Appreciate it. All right, Q, everybody. Yay! Brian Quinn in Practical Jokers. I've seen them live.
Let's just get this started.
I think 4 times now.
What's
the show like? It is
multimedia, right?
It's multimedia, and it's it used to be the 4 of them, but now it's the 3 on stage, essentially just telling stories.
Okay.
And some of it's improv, some of it is rehearsed and ready to go.
Okay.
And then they'll play clips and outtakes from the show, and it's just, but it's moving. It's constantly going.
All right, so because that's my son's birthday, and he's a huge fan of Impractical Jokers.
Oh,
and I'm
he'd
like,
dig it.
He would dig it. All right,
yeah.
good.
And they're good about getting out and talking directly to the audience. They'll pick people out of the audience and do some things with them. So
I mean, and they're always working. They're always doing the touring and the show and all that stuff. I mean, they're not. They've earned their celebrity.
And having the opportunity to meet them on several occasions, they're just super nice guys. And they're still thankful for, they know. They're like, look at what we do.
He was a firefighter.
Look at what we do.
Yeah, he was rushing into burning buildings, and now he does this.
I love it. All right, so we have a few minutes left to play with, and we have not gone to the city beat for a long time. So
Wow, he's the man with the sexy feet pounding the beat on the street.
Yeah.
Stuff that rhymes with eat.
All right, so Kathy mentioned this earlier this morning, but that was in the news, so it was early. But today is apparently 215 day.
Because it's 215.
Yeah, it's the 21. Well, it's February 15th, and it's 215. Obviously, the area code. So apparently there are a lot of specials and things that you can experience at $2.15 today.
Really? I think
that's part of it.
I think this is awesome. Yeah, this makes stuff fun.
So this is from the market lead. Her name is Ellie Jandro, and she is from the Do 215 market lead, I guess is the name of it. And she says that 215 Day is a way to bring attention to everyone's own. It can be everyone's own go-to guide for everything happening in Philly every day and night of the week. It's a chance to connect people to the city, help them explore and discover all the gems that make Philly truly a one-of-a-kind place to live and visit. So they are spotlighting drinks, goodies, and giveaways on the town. The public is invited to engage in free events with the new holiday through contests and prizes from local businesses, access to exclusive events, concerts, deals, and all that stuff. So to highlight, some of these highlights are you can get $2.15 off of tickets to the Philadelphia Zoo to see Thomas Dambro's Trolls Save the Humans. $2.15 slices at Slice Italian Market.
Cool.
$2.15 milkshakes at Punk Burger with any burger purchase. A 215 Day limited edition cheesesteaks at Nipotina with a free order of fries and stuff like that. So these things are happening.
There's $2.15 shows at City Winery.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's a chance to win tickets to, apparently on the website, to Curtis Steigers, a golden ticket to Underground Arts, a golden 4-pack of tickets to Anchor Rock Club, a wild card, and $50 gift certificate for World Cafe Live, and more.
We did a weekend getaway in the city 2 or 3 weekends ago, and man, was it great. Like, there are so many, and I know we talk about it on the show a lot, but I don't often spend 2 nights in a row in the city. For me, the best way to do it is to get a hotel room, and you can just enjoy it more. But so many good restaurants, so many good bars. And sometimes I'm jealous of Marissa because she can experience it on an almost daily basis because she lives there. And so for me, it's more of a special occasion to actually go into town.
So question, is there a good repository of stuff that's going on in the city when you want to find out? Let's say you've got
Marissa.
I'm going to get to that. Yeah. When you find out like you're going to do that weekend, where's the hub that you go to see if there are shows, if there are, you know what I mean? Anything special.
Are you staying in the city or okay? Then like your concierge gets that done.
Yeah, I mean
at the hotel.
No. I don't mean.
He's talking about like a website
before you even book a room,
right?
And you're like, okay. These 3 things are going on in the city. It's a good time to go in and go check it out. So
you're talking about something like on Broadway, they had that Tix booth that has all the stuff that's going on all the shows, like a centralized.
Because I sometimes will search, or even like Atlantic City, if you want to find out all the things that are going on in AC, I have to hunt and peck around to find stuff as opposed to finding one hub. Marissa?
I am 2 feet away from somebody who does this every single week. Connor works on Pierre's weekend calendar, and it has a running list of shows that are happening, and maybe it's just this weekend. No, but like it's something that
pull my
may
finger
not
down and not say the other website I was going to say.
That's why I jumped in really far, because there are other websites that he goes and he finds them. But if you look at it, it'll have like the dates that it's running. So it might not just be running this weekend. It'll run through March or something like that. It's all there.
See, I always listen to Pierre's weekend calendar. I don't go to the website and check it out.
Every Friday, it's posted right on WMR.com or WMR.com/Pierre.
And there's more stuff on the website than than he says on air.
Yeah.
Yes,
Expands
that's
on it.
true. I don't want to do it.
Oh, on WMR.com.
I want you to tell me.
But Connor's actually really taken it to a whole nother level because it used to just have like a few things, the movies, everything. But he hunts and pecks, just like you were saying, Preston, every single event in the city and outside.
And he finds it. He does the work for you, for us.
He's very valuable to this station.
Yes, he is. Connor Betts.
Moose.
You bets.
Everyone, they knew him as Moose at the.
I know.
At
I
the
heard.
Galentine's Day party, I introduced Connor, and they're like, "Isn't that Moose?"
Yeah.
For a moment.
Yeah. So, anyhow, all right. Well, 215 day today. So do a quick search around. Check Pierre's concert calendar and weekend calendar.
Now,
to
Pierre
find
does
out.
middays here, right?
He's the midday disc jockey.
The disc jockey.
He's a DJ. He's a radio DJ. All right. Let's see. I'll do some other city beat things. This was kind of interesting. You guys know the YouTube dude, Philly Drone Life?
Yes.
Apparently, the FAA is he's racked up nearly $200,000 in fines.
I was wondering when that was going to come around to bite him.
There's been a lawsuit filed by the federal government.
By the way,
Michael
he gets great footage.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Michael DiCuricchio, I think is how you say his last name, known as Philly Drone Life on his YouTube channel. Apparently, this is according to the suit. It says has operated drones scores of times in violation of multiple regulations across a period of about a year. The federal government is seeking $182,000 in penalties as well as an injunction preventing him from operating any civil aircraft not in full compliance with two sets of FAA drone laws governing recreational and commercial use. The lawsuit identifies more than 24 flights from 2019 and 2020 during which he allegedly flew drones in controlled airspace near the airport during inclement weather, close to buildings at night, or over people in traffic. The flights referenced in the lawsuit were allegedly shown on the Philly Drone Life channel, by the way, which has more than 1.2 million views as of now. So when we did like our drone show at the Camp Out for Hunger, all that had to be cleared and okayed. You have to get permission to fly those things around.
More and more sports teams are doing really cool drone videos where like the drone will fly into the locker room and then up to the broadcast booth. And they did it for the Winter Classic out in Seattle with the Kraken this year. I've seen the Cubs do it at Wrigley Field. I would love to see the Flyers do one this weekend up at MetLife Stadium because it's just obviously it's an obvious statement, but drones can go places that a helicopter can. And it's just impressive aerial footage.
Yep.
My drone will not, for example, take off if the president is coming into the area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shut down.
In other words, and it's kind of an agreement you make so that it has a the GPS locator, and it will let you know that it won't use that. You could fly it, but it makes sure that you're that you're obeying the law. Is my half-hearted attempt at trying to explain what happened.
Yeah, so and this guy, the reason he's gotten busted is because he's posted all this stuff online.
It looks. I wonder if
right
there's.
there.
And listen, you can't do it because it could obviously be a risk. But is there some sort of capacity because he's got a talent for it, in which there could be a cooperative with the tourism board or something. Now, mind you, again, a drone flying at night past residential apartments and stuff like that would wake people up. But again, there's city noise. I don't know. Yeah. If there's a happy medium, the footage is always so amazing.
I still do get thrown off by them sometimes. I was driving on Lancaster Avenue, and you know where you come out of like Suburban Square, and then you make that right by Ardmore Music Hall. There was right at Route 30 there was a drone just hovering above the road. And I have no idea what it was doing. I'm sure it was for some commercial, for a business or whatever. It's just like you're sitting there watching and you're sitting at a light. I don't know. It's distracting.
A little off-putting.
That's what I mean.
I will be violated is too strong of a word.
But I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
It's like a surveillance state sort of thing.
It feels like a bit of an invasion of privacy.
And people have done that and have surveilled on neighbors. I have my one drone that is sort of a racing drone, can go up to like 90 miles an hour.
Wow.
And it can go 6-7 miles away. And all I need to do is just wear the goggles. I'm seeing what the camera's seeing. I can do like a fighter pilot, Preston. I tilt my head and it will fly in that direction. And all that's in there. to me, I've always flown a drone within eyesight.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if something comes down, and this is what they're worried about. And this is the problematic nature of what this gentleman does. Is if that drone goes down into a crowded street, it could really hurt someone.
You know, they're banned in national parks, and I love that. And people still cheat the system sometimes, and try to, especially like in places where in Yellowstone, where cool above shots are neat to see, but I love the fact that the national parks don't allow them.
Well, I do too, because you're going to have every now and then one is going to lose power and it's going to end up in some place, and now you've got a piece of, essentially, you have a piece of garbage now that's littering in a national park.
So the last drone that I got, well, actually, if it has any sort of issue and lands, it will flip itself over. It will take off again. It's got all this stuff going on. Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow.
But again, the last thing you want to be doing is when you're taking in sort of a rustic park.
I know it's the noise thing bothers me too, and you know why? Because it sounds. I think it sounds like a giant horsefly or something like that, and it's just off-putting to me.
Well, you need to get into a defensive stance if it is a giant horsefly.
Yes, you would, man.
Yeah.
Hate horseflies. All right, so anyhow, we'll see if what ends up happening with him. But I thought that was kind of interesting. All right, another City Beat story. We're gonna go outside of the city and we're gonna head to the beach. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection has closed a portion of Cape May County's Higbee Beach Wildlife Protection Area.
Giant horseflies?
In advance, no, but they do have the greenheads. In advance of a $37.5 million ecological restoration project that I think began last month. The 1,160-acre nature preserve is along the Delaware Bay at the southern tip of Jersey in Lower Township, and it will improve wildlife habitats and tidal flow to marshes. The beach,
marshes.
The beach will be closed, or is closed, a section of it until December 2026.
Marsha.
I was just there a couple of months ago. And you can, when you're at that beach, you can look back towards Cape May, where the concrete boat is sunk right off the shore, and then you also look right at the ferry. It's a cool spot.
Did you get naked?
You can get naked there.
Yeah, people do.
Yeah.
They go.
They have sex with trees and handrails
and naked there.
Yeah, that's in Penn State. I did not get naked, but yes, I believe you are allowed, or they just look the other way.
So this touches on that a little bit. The preserve's 1.5 miles of shoreline have long attracted visitors from bird watchers and dog walkers to nudists who once enjoyed free reign on the beaches. In 1999, a Lower Township police officer cited a topless woman for indecent exposure to Higbee Beach, sparking a legal battle that resulted in state courts deciding local townships could enforce their public nudity ordinances on state-run land.
Do they make mention of tables where you can lay down, put a ski mask on, and rub fecal matter on yourself?
No.
Okay, because I know that's all the rage as well.
That's in Penn State.
At least with one guy.
That's in Penn State. Compared to other Jersey Shore destinations, the preserve's bay-facing, unguarded beaches are relatively quiet during the summer months. Parts of Higbee Beach unofficially remain popular among nude sunbathers despite the court ruling.
There's literally a feeling of being regenerated, at least for me. I'm sure you guys are the same. Regenerated. The beach, a quiet beach, any area like that. And I like the winter as well. An empty beach, it's amazing.
We went down last weekend, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was just quiet and beautiful, and I love it. By the way, compared to other Jersey Shore destinations, the preserves, bay-facing, unguarded, I already said that. There's apparently a spooky lore attached to Higbee Beach. Excuse me, which previously had been farmland in the 19th century. A tavern that once stood on the farm was later turned into the Hermitage Hotel, owned by Joseph Smith Higbee and his brother Thomas. And the pair operated the hotel for Delaware Bay pilots and lived in a nearby house for decades. And when Thomas Higbee died in 1879, he wrote in his will that he wanted to be buried near the hotel. His remains were at that site for years until his niece, who had inherited the land, left instructions in her will to disinter him and move him to the Cold Springs Presbyterian Cemetery, where she also had a plot waiting for her. That hotel was torn down in 1940, and over the years, some Higbee Beach visitors have reported seeing ghosts of the Higbee brothers treading in the area of the former hotel, sometimes accompanied by a dog.
Ghost dog?
In the 1988 book Cape May Ghost Stories, one woman recounted how she saw a glowing figure on the beach and heard a faint whispering or giggling sound. The Courier Post reported that the woman said she saw...
Wait, that's not scary.
Can you hear it? That's faint.
Yeah. Listen.
I heard it that time.
Just faintly. And it's almost, is
Very
it the
faint.
wind? Is it a ghost?
Yeah, I caught it.
What is it?
Oh my God, a ghost. Is that a ghost?
I love that laugh. That's Casey, by the way.
Is that when we sucked in the
Sulfur hexafluoride.
Yep.
Casey was belly laughing at the sound.
We should do that again.
Of his own voice. We should.
Great. I love that
Did
stuff.
we find out it was like... Did we find out it was like bad for us, or our lungs could have collapsed? or some crap like that?
If you breathe it exclusively like helium, you're going to run out of oxygen.
But I thought maybe Dr. Mike called in and yelled at us.
No, maybe.
No, he just loves us.
Okay. Well, let's do it again.
So anyhow, the Courier Post reported the woman said she saw the figure glide over a nearby hill, and when she approached the place it had been standing, there were no footprints. The figure eventually disappeared into the water off the coast, the woman said. So they're going to be restoring that, and it's going to take a couple of years for them to go through that. So,
love it.
Higby Beach. All right, and then do I have one or two more? Let's do this one. This is a biggie. Rocky has got another event coming up. The city's tourist organizations are planning a major celebration of the classic Philadelphia film later this year with the hopes of attracting tens of thousands of visitors.
We mentioned this morning, President. You and I were, when the story popped up. And this is such a no-brainer. I love this idea. The fact that Stallone showed up for that souvenir stand at the base of the Art Museum.
Yep.
Yes, embrace Rocky. Philadelphia, go nuts. Have like a week-long thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the goal would be to get Stallone to come in, and obviously we'd take a shot at getting him on the air finally, but it'd be so perfect.
Though still in the early stages of development, it will likely be a multi-day event with activities across Philly, says Catherine Ott Lovell, the head of the Philadelphia Visitor Center Corporation. Lovell said that it was probably the easiest decision ever to propose a larger celebration of Rocky following the success that she saw establishing Rocky Day on December 3rd last year.
That was it, yeah.
You're referring to the Art Museum steps there, a little shop there. She said the biggest surprise has been the international traveler. She estimates 4 million people visit the Rocky statue annually.
May I recommend, here's something, Preston, just not to cut you off here. Start something like a Rocky walk, and make your first thing like a star or a boxing glove or something that goes into the pavement. Make the first one Carl Weathers, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I like that. Stallone himself, she said, is very involved and might make an appearance. The celebration could include expanded Rocky tours showcasing the film's memorable locations, incorporating a hop-on, hop-off bus.
Thanks, Riley.
All-night screenings of the Rocky movies, or events tying in Philly's boxing community as well.
It'd be great. It'd be awesome.
Area hotels. It'll be unbelievable, actually.
Billy, I'm coming home to you, and it's going to be unbelievable.
Area hotels will likely offer themed packages, and Lovell says that local bars and restaurants will contribute in their own ways of ringing in Rocky throughout the city. That's pretty
right.
Cool. Yeah.
Will you?
All those in favor?
Will you? All those opposed?
As the 50th anniversary of Rocky coincides with the country's sesquicentennial.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try that one.
In 2026, this year's event will lead up to a bigger celebration in the future, and it could become an annual offering as well. Because if you remember, that movie came out in 1976.
Yes, it did. It's the whole bicentennial.
Yeah. So 50 years later, it's the sesquicentennial. So it should be pretty cool.
I want to have that sexual tentacle.
What's that?
I want to be there for the sexual tentacle.
The sexual tentacle. So they're working on doing an official, bigger Rocky, officially city-sanctioned multiple-day event.
We need to hook up with the person who's mounting this whole effort and see if we can get a Stallone tie-in.
Yeah, we'll get behind that whole thing.
It'll be like $1 billion.
Could be, for all we know.
There's like $1 billion.
How many are you guys offering up?
There's like $1 billion.
Okay.
There's like $1 billion.
Gotcha.
All right, that's it for City Beat, friends.
Well done.
Thank you. We have other stories that we're going to share via the Bizarre File. Some good ones in there. So we will take a quick break and come back and dive into all of that stuff in just a moment or two. So hang out for a moment.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we are going to start the B File with a follow-up story from one that I had. It was either yesterday or the day before, but how did a virgin stingray fall pregnant while living alone in a tank? After months of investigation and a male shark falsely accused of sexual assault, it seems that the mystery may have finally been solved. Experts at the aquarium in North Carolina have now admitted that it would have been impossible for Charlotte the stingray to have mated with one of the 5 small sharks that share her tank. Instead, they say that Charlotte went through, and we said this the other day, that it may have been parthenogenesis, a rare type of asexual reproduction where offspring develop from unfertilized eggs.
It's amazing.
Virgin birth is a natural process called facultative parthenogenesis, meaning a female is able to produce young without any involvement from a male.
So will this be Stingray Jesus?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's extremely rare in nature, although it is found in some other species, most notably mayflies, turkeys, pythons, and boa constrictors can all do this.
It's a wide variety.
It's like Jurassic Park with life finding a way.
Exactly. Animals in the wild generally do not reproduce in this way, and research suggests that endangered animals might do so more frequently as finding a mate becomes harder. Katie Lyons, a research scientist at the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, said Charlotte's pregnancy is the only documented example that she is aware of for round stingrays. However, other kinds of sharks, skates, and rays have had these kind of pregnancies in human care before. So
It's tough dating in the stingray world.
Right. A WestJet passenger claims that she was kicked off a flight due to frequent bathroom visits before takeoff, citing an upset stomach. The airline reportedly refused to provide a hotel or rebook her flight, leading to a dispute at the airport. According to People magazine, people on social media criticized the airline, while others defended the decision, stating that passenger safety is paramount. WestJet apologized for the inconvenience, emphasizing the importance of health and safety, and after reviewing procedures to ensure appropriate support for guests facing similar situations.
Man, I tell you what, when we were flying back from last summer, the trip, I got attacked by something, and I was up to the bathroom, I'd say 20 times during the flight, yeah.
This incident follows a recent case where a passenger was reportedly removed for excessive gas on another flight. We had that in the bizarre file just the other day. Well, a Tampa Bay Christian radio host faces a maximum of 180 years in prison. And this is for his alleged role in a Ponzi scheme. Gary Gauthier hosted a show called It's God's Money.
Yeah.
And he's been accused.
It's God's not the one going to jail.
He's accused of scamming 40 investors out of $6 million. Oh, Gary! After promising big real estate returns. The scheme went belly up in 2008 after the housing market crashed. And his lawyer, Roger Feuderman, said, now, some investors, by the way, did make money.
Some of them. Just so you know, you would think that a connection to God would provide better financial savvy.
Gauthier has pleaded guilty.
There's a Methodist who sells meth you might be interested in talking
to racketeering and conspiracy, among other charges. A Canadian man has been arrested in a northern Thai city called Chiang Mai after he allegedly opened the door on a commercial plane and triggered the evacuation slide prior to takeoff. Air traffic control tower was reportedly notified that Thai Airways flight TG-121 was waiting in line on the runway to take off.
Flight B Thai.
When the passenger opened one of the plane's doors, causing an evacuation slide to deploy. The Airbus A320 was unable to be immediately moved, temporarily preventing other flights from taking off and landing. 13 flights in total were affected by the incident, including 8 that were forced to circle in the air before being cleared to land. In total, over 2,200 passengers were affected by the delays. Mechanics were able to repair and inspect the door in accordance with safety regulations, with the delayed flight eventually taking off for Bangkok after midnight. Now, here's the interesting part about this.
Okay.
If found guilty, he could face the death penalty.
The death penalty. Wow, they are strict.
Yes, they are. Or imprisonment of up to 20 years and or a very large fine. Though it should be noted, Thailand has not carried out a prisoner execution since 2018. Police said that they were unaware of the suspect's motive for opening the door, but noticed he appeared stressed and was difficult to communicate with.
You made me think of a potential new movie if Jodie Foster wants to do a sequel. Nell, commercial airline pilot.
Oh, yes. I love it. She gets...
I think she said, look off the left.
That's her announcement.
And they'll be tie, flip.
Yep.
Steve Nelby, fly.
Nelby, fly. Yeah, I love it.
All right, and let's see. This one you guys will find interesting. U.S. Customs and Border Protection intercepted an unusual illegal import at Logan Airport on Thursday, and that was monkey remains.
Monkey remains.
Yeah. During a screening of baggage of a Delta flight from Paris, Canine Buddy alerted his handler to a bag, the owner of which declared that it only held dried fish in it. But an X-ray appeared to confirm that. But upon physical inspection, the officer identified the dead and dehydrated bodies of 4 monkeys.
This is my monkey. This is my dead fish bag. Wait a second. There's dead monkey in that bag.
The Center for Disease Control was immediately contacted to request that the luggage containing the 4 kilograms of bush meat
anything to declare? Yeah, a dead monkey.
Be seized, and that the airline destroy the bag or return it to France.
It's covered by my dead fish.
Raw or minimally processed meat from wild animals in some areas of the world is classified as bush meat.
Bush meat.
And these types of meats are not permitted.
Is that what I call bush meat?
No, entry to the United States. The monkey remains were detained by the CDC and marked for destruction.
So monkey is eaten in some air?
Oh, yeah. You guys ever read The Hot Zone?
That's right.
About the Ebola outbreak, and then it made it to this place called Preston, Virginia. Steve, they talk about Ebola with bushmeat and like monkey meat being traded, and like it's a direct way to disease.
Yeah, in fact, bushmeat can carry germs that can cause illness, including Ebola.
There you go.
Said. So that's why they're very strict.
So if you get to work today and your wife or somebody prepared a monkey meat sandwich for you, there's a little note.
But
don't
that's
eat
so
it.
good when the monkey is nice and lean.
Yeah,
and
enjoy it. How do you like your monkey cut?
Good, yeah.
Cut your monkey real thin. You're gonna love it.
All right, and that is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back in a second, and lesson question time when we return. Stuff to win. We'll be right back. 93.3 WMMR higher. We just spoke to Scott Stapp earlier in the week. Nice conversation with him, man. He's excited about his solo music and tour and all that good stuff. 12 minutes after 10 o'clock. It's a Thursday morning with Preston and Steve show. Weather-wise, going up to about 40 degrees-ish, 40, 41. And clouds are on the way. We'll have mostly sunny skies for the start of your weekend tomorrow. I'll have about 43 degrees. Do you guys consider Friday to be a part of the weekend?
Oh, my God. I think you and I are on the same page. It's my favorite day of the weekend.
I agree.
The Friday afternoon night is my favorite day of the weekend.
It is tough, though, when you are trying to put together a social event for a Friday night because everybody's working.
And we have the afternoon clear, so that you're starting later, and you can't go because you've worked that morning.
Right.
And then Saturday, obviously it's wonderful. Sunday, you just want to die.
Yeah, Sunday sucks.
I had actually posed a question on Twitter a while ago, and I was surprised at the response about which day is better, Friday or Sunday. And the overwhelming response was that Friday was better. But I was like, but you don't have to work at all on Sunday, but just the threat of work.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, Sunday is, I'd much prefer Friday.
Now, I can enjoy aspects of Sunday, and I do. But I mean... When I get all of my stuff and prep and
see, I'm working on Sunday too.
Yeah.
So
the Sunday scaries are real, man. I still have visceral reaction to being afraid that I didn't get my schoolwork done, or and then I party too much on Friday and Saturday, and then I'm not ready for school on Monday morning.
I do have to thank you though, Preston, because I started doing something on Sundays that you had talked about on the air.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Fill up your gas tank?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, you do it on Sunday?
Yep. Yeah, no matter what.
I do it Saturday morning at the same service station every week.
Okay.
Without fail.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much gas, because usually I'm rolling into the station on fumes, but now, no matter what.
Case, if my tank is full, I pump it into the back seat.
That's smart.
Yeah. Just, you never know.
True dat.
True dat.
All right, so...
why you do that?
We're going to ask a lesson question from today. We are going to give away a $50 What a Crock Meals to Go gift card if you can answer this. Which herb, some people call it a spice, helps to alleviate period cramps? 215-263-WMMR. Can also help with your toe fungus.
Yes, it's amazing.
What herb?
I don't know if it actually helps.
Some people call it a spice. Helps to alleviate period cramps and toe fungus. 215-263-WMMR. We uttered that around 7:30 this morning. If you were listening and you know, please give us a call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's get some stories while we wait for that call. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, this is interesting. McDonald's is being sued by 2 employees who say the fast food chain is making it tough on them to pump breast milk on the job. A McDonald's spokesperson refused the allegation, saying they provide an adapter to the employees so they can attach their breasts to the milkshake machine. Hey! Why not? Ben Affleck says he was taken aback when his intimate love letters to Jennifer Lopez were incorporated into her new album, This Is Me Now. Affleck is most embarrassed by the proposal of a threesome, him, Lopez, and the Skull Seal.
Yes. Yes.
And finally, Kourtney Kardashian getting very candid about revealing that it was last Valentine's Day when she and husband Travis Barker, quote, made baby Rocky. Kourtney went on to explain, saying that Travis used his penis to introduce seminal fluid into her anterior vagina.
Oh.
How romantic. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see if you know the answer. Which herb, some call it a spice, helps to alleviate period cramps and toe fungus? 215-263-WMMR. Let's go to Rich. Hi there, Rich.
Good morning.
All right, Rich, what herb helps with period cramps, please?
That would be oregano.
Oregano. Hold on, Rich. We're going to give you a $50 What a Crock Meals to Go gift card. And What a Crock's delicious ready-made meals make diner dinner easy for anyone. Just drop a meal into your slow cooker in the morning and come home to dinner waiting for you.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
So
the Black Keys have released a second track from the upcoming album Ohio Players. The song is a cover of Memphis soul legend William Bell's I Forgot to Be Your Lover, the only non-original track on the 14-song set.
It's a great song.
Yeah, the group's Dan Arbach said that he and Keys' mate Patrick Carney decided to take it on during sessions at the Vintage Valentine Studio in Los Angeles.
Is the Ohio Players?
They were a band.
Yeah.
And they had a hit, and I can't remember.
I know. I'm trying to think.
Wasn't Roller Coaster of Love, was it? Did they do that? Hold on. Yeah, it is? Okay, thank you. Yeah. That's Kyle giving a thumbs up. Roller Coaster of Love. The Chili Peppers did a cover of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said we're in there doing some recording, and Pat suggested it, and I'm sure like being in that space, had a lot to do with that decision, but it's always been one of our favorite songs. And we had Tommy there, and we had Kelly Finnegan, who sings harmony and plays the Hammond. So it was like, yeah, let's do this. It'll be fun. He's referring to Tommy Brennick, another guitarist who's part of several tracks on Ohio Players.
Tommy want wingy.
Ohio Players is the Black Keys 12th studio album and comes out on April 5th, and it features collaborations with Beck and Noel Gallagher, among others. And I Forgot to Be Your Lover was preceded by another single, Beautiful People Stay High, in January, which is a song that we've been playing.
So Perry Shaw, who's a local artist, he's designed a ton of their concert posters. I wonder if he has had a hand in their cover art for the CD.
Might be.
Today, February 15th, marks the 50th anniversary of Burn, Deep Purple's pivotal 8th studio album. The 8-track set marked the debut of the band's Mark III lineup, bringing in frontman David Coverdale and bassist Glenn Hughes, the latter from the band Trapeze, replacing Ian Gillan and Roger Glover, respectively, and joining founding members Richie Blackmore, John Lord, and Ian Pace. The changes were well received. However, Burn reached number 9 on the Billboard 200, Deep Purple's second highest showing after 1972's Machine Head, and number 3 in its homeland of England. It was also certified gold. The track Might Just Take Your Life also charted in both the U.S. and the U.K. Deep Purple Mark III released one more album, Stormbringer, also in 1974, after which guitarist Blackmore quit to form a new band who we know as Rainbow.
I liked Rainbow.
Rainbow's a good band. And he was replaced by Tommy Bolin for one album before Deep Purple broke up in 1976. So it's been 50 years. That's crazy. In celebration of Valentine's Week, Rod Stewart released a revved-up version of the classic song Pennies from Heaven. And the video features his wife, Penny Lancaster, as his backup singer.
How old is she?
Don't know.
11?
Yeah, he always had a younger gal. The twice inducted Rock and Roll Hall of Famer recorded it with Jules Holland and his Rhythm and Blues Orchestra.
I love Rod Stewart.
Doesn't he have like a dozen kids from like 8 different women or
he's
something?
He's got a number
like
of kids, yeah.
She's actually relatively age appropriate, Steve. She's 52.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good for him.
So their collaborative album Swing on Saturday. It's a ticketed event.
Oh.
So you need to purchase tickets, and they're going to be at Scotland Run Golf Club. I've been there before. I've played there. Was that Mike Barkan's event years ago?
Southern Chester County, I think.
No,
it's in Williamstown.
Williamstown, New Jersey.
Well, then don't listen to me.
They got great music.
Great.
No, Barkhan's was that, and it's not named that anymore. Oh, gosh. But it was a different run, yeah.
I want to say that I've been there.
Voorhees.
But anyhow, you can visit scotlandrun.com to purchase tickets, and they must be purchased in advance. So it's this Saturday, 6:30. FM Band is a great party band. So scotlandrun.com if you want to go see Kyle Mack and the crew. And that is what I have in music news for you.
Nice.
So we'll take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll wrap the whole thing up with our letter of the day for the word of the week. Stay there. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on
the Black Keys, who we were just talking about. Beautiful people, stay high. 93.3 WMMR. Everything that rocks. 10:30 on the nose. Preston and Steve show this Thursday morning. Steve, now it's No Sad Bro Friday.
It feels it.
You were asking earlier, when does it officially become No Sad Bro Friday? It now officially has become No Sad Bro Friday. So that means we can just revel in our no sad bro-ness.
I think we're all tie-tie.
I'm a little tie-tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got a lot of things on our calendar, so we'll have to wake up and get ready for Cardboard Classic. And spring training is on the way.
It's going to be awesome.
Planning something for leap year this year, by the way, at the end of the month. Got to get on that, too, so we're working on some things. I would like to thank our one and only guest, Mr. Brian Quinn, known as Q from the Impractical Jokers. Their 10th season kicks off tonight on True TV and TBS. And you can catch them Thursdays at 10 p.m. And then they're going to be in Atlantic City, by the way, for a live show. The Drive Tour is going to be Saturday, July 13th at the Ovation Hall at Ocean Casino Resort. You can get tickets through theoceanac.com should you feel the need to go see those guys. And it's a great, fun live show. It's a good family.
They are.
Thing.
And very fan-friendly.
They let the curses fly, but if you watch it with the family, then you know what you're getting into. So, Pierre Robert.
Well, how do you do?
Wonderful. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Excellent, man.
I think it's a glorious day.
It is.
Beautiful.
Really. Love
and
it.
is it, what you call it, Eve?
Yeah, no sad bro.
No sad bro.
No Sad Bro Eve. Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. I just wanted to verify.
It's been verified, and we are good to go with the
I know what day it is.
Yeah, man. All right, do you know what letter you're going to use today?
Well, just strap yourself in and follow along.
All right, here
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
O is in outer
All right.
space.
O is in outer space. All right, we're going to give away tomorrow a very cool prize. A pair of the 2024 Lawny passes for the summer concert season at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. The wide variety of concerts you'll get to see include Hozier, Chris Stapleton, Third Eye Blind, Kids Bop, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner and Styx, Earth, Wind and Fire with Chicago, Jason Aldean, the Doobie Brothers and Steve Winwood, 30 Seconds to Mars, Hootie and the Blowfish, Avril Lavigne, Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper, and more to be announced.
Amazing.
Lawny passes are on sale now at lawnpass.livenation.com. Another chance to win a pair for MMR VIPs are available at WMMR.com. So make sure you take a peek there.
Great prize.
Yeah, I know.
God,
I'm
so
excited
cool.
to set somebody up with that because you just go at your leisure. Go as often as you want once you have
If you're not able to use a pair, can you give them to someone else?
I
for the
don't
night?
know.
No.
I don't know if they're transferable or not. So
if you had that
Can't
many
answer.
concerts and you couldn't make it on Thursday, say, hey, Jim, you want to go? It would seem like, but then again, they may be required.
Wait.
Pancake.
Pancake has
This show said.
all right, let's go to Pancake.
I believe that you have to pick up your lawn pass the day of the show.
Okay.
So you have to go there to pick it up. That doesn't...
So it's not like a laminated pass.
Right. I don't know that, people won't, work their way of bringing a friend and
Just
other
handing
ways
to them?
on that. But,
Right, yeah.
Yes, I believe that it is a day of show pickup.
Regardless, I mean, make this the year you see every concert for crying out loud. There's a tremendous amount of good stuff.
So cool.
Excellent.
All right.
All right, so what's up on the show today?
We have a block of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, block of the Struts, and earlier in the week was the anniversary of the release of a magnificent record album from the Allman Brothers called Eat a Peach.
Yeah, God.
And I didn't have time to get it in then, but I'm going to do a block of entirely material from Eat a Peach. It's such, the artwork, the music, it just came together in a glorious fashion on that record. And we'll have Neil Young and Crazy Horse tickets going on sale tomorrow.
Bunch. All right. Thank you, sir. I would like to also thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Duncan, and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Meineke Car Care. You won't pay a lot, but you'll get a lot. And tomorrow's program will have Kyle Dunnigan in the studio.
Love him.
And we get to talk to the legend, Billy D. Williams.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. On the show.
So excited.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. Lando Calrissian himself.
The name of his book is What Have We Here?
What have we here?
Is that a line from the film?
Yeah, from Empire, yeah.
Okay. Yep. And you surely belong here among the clouds with us. All right, that's going to be great to end the week with all of that. That's it. We're done. Ray John, have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend, and bye-bye.